talking to you, I kind of feel like is the ultimate full circle. I had my very first podcast interview with you 10 years ago. That's where the most healing happened for me, because that's where I had to just say, despite all of this stuff that I'm so terribly embarrassed to be writing and sharing, like, I'm still a badass. And that's where the line where I said we can be both powerful and unfinished came. I was like, screw this. I'm not going to take this freaking disaster that just happened and everything else I'm hard on myself with right now. And I'm not going to throw everything away just because life is hard today. I am not broken. I am on the mend. Things are going to be okay. And I just won't die here. This is not where the story ends. But begin your journey of warming up those cold spaces, because we all deserve that. We all deserve to feel free and to feel the sense of agency that we were born with. And that's our God-given right to feel our own power. And that is the whole purpose of the book, is to give that gift of inspiring someone to believe, even for a second, that they could feel more powerful in their life when they believed before they read it that they were broken.
Sabrosura patique.
Hola, hola. Welcome back to Café con Pam, the bilingual podcast that celebrates the power of our stories, the medicine in our voices, and the magic of reclaiming who we are. Pull up your cafecito, que este episodio es para ti. Yo soy Pam Covarrubias, your host. Y el día de hoy, we talk about what it costs to finally say the thing out loud. My guest is Denise Soler Cox, a filmmaker, a storyteller, and now an author. 10 years ago, she was episode 10 of Café con Pam. She said yes to me. I was a baby podcaster with a terrible mic, a tiny, hot, non-air conditioned room, and she said yes to me. This year, Café con Pam turns 10, and she has an incredible milestone. We are walking side by side the whole time, and it's amazing. I love Denise. She is such a, I don't know, I see Denise as this like anchor of Café con Pam in many ways, because I looked up to her. I reached out. She said yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And this time she's back with her book. Her book is called What Will They Say? ¿Qué dirán? A title that is its own kind of wound, porque, you've already heard that. You've heard the voice that says, who will you disappoint if you tell the truth? If you tell the truth about money, about la familia, about the rooms in your own story you locked and maybe swore you'd never open. Denise wrote this one through her own rock bottom in the same coffee shop where she and I met a few years ago. And she tells us what she found in there. All the medicine she shares with us. Así que pull up your cafecito, porque this one is for the one who's been holding a story she's terrified to say out loud. It's so fun. Sin más, mi conversación with Denise Soler Cox. Denise, welcome back to Café con Pam for a third round. Let's go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Talking to you, I kind of feel like is the ultimate full circle, because you and I had my very first podcast interview with you 10 years ago. And I kind of feel like you're the witness to all of my new stuff. You're the first person that stands right there and wants to know about it. So I appreciate you, and I'm honored to be on your podcast again right before the book launches.
Thank you. Thank you for saying yes back then. And we've talked about this every time you come back, that I was like this really baby podcaster, didn't know what I was doing. I was podcasting with the microphone from a retired rapper, and I saw your film, and I was like, she has to be my guest.
Oh.
And I sent pitches to like so many people. Like I had a list of 100 people that I wanted to be. And you were the first one to say yes. And I was like, what? She wants to talk to me? So thank you for trusting.
Oh my gosh. I probably felt the same way, just so you know. I really did not know what I was getting myself into. Like I just wanted to make the movie. I didn't know the world beyond that, So, yeah.
Which same. I feel like we're kindred spirits in that sense where the documentary came in 2016. I started Cafe Con Pam in 2016.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, so it's Cafe Con Pam turns 10
Oh my
this
gosh.
year. The
Congratulations.
documentary turns 10, like,
Yes.
we have been, like, doing this parallel movement, which is really cool,
Yes.
and I love seeing it. So, yes, thank you for saying yes, that back then, neither of us knew.
And you know what? Like, I adore you and I adore,
Same.
um, kinda like running alongside you and, like, also really love your content. And I love that we care about the same thing. And I just love that we stayed in it, 'cause
Yes.
there's a lot of people that start things and, for whatever reason, it's just that their journey ends sooner. It's just how it is. And so it's
Mhm.
awesome to be able to be 10 years later with someone who, like you're still here, you're still doing it, and it's great. I've seen your evolution, and I have appreciated it. It's
Same.
really cool. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, for sure, and I mean, we've talked offline, we met in Denver, we didn't have
Yes,
but we talked even offline after, and it's cool to see totally, like, I'm not gonna repeat what you said, but it really is nice to have someone that you're like, "Okay, she's still doing it." Like, it's hard,
yes.
but,
Ooh,
like, somebody's out there pushing, so I can push as well. So thank you for
yeah.
modeling as well.
Oh, of course, and likewise. Yeah.
Yeah. So, since this is your 3rd time, Denise, we now have a book.
Yes. Ah.
What will they say? Which is, like, such a great full circle moment, I think, from, like, the very first interview of, like, you waited 16 years
Mhm.
to, like, finally you were writing in your journal, "Make the movie, make the movie, make the movie,"
Yes, yes.
and
Uh-huh.
then finally you made the movie, and now 10 years later, we're talking about the book.
Yeah.
How does that feel to look at that trajectory and be here?
Yeah, it's definitely surreal, like, well, I feel like that's so cliche to say, but it's true, and it feels like, "Is this my life? Like, is this really how it went?" And, it feels like, it's these both of these 2 kind of milestones were not easy, and they're very, very different in their own way, and I was sharing with someone just the other day, like, just how much, um, this last 10 years has been the absolute most fun. And then just professionally speaking, I've been able to devote my work to our shared community, the Latino community. And it is because of that it has felt so fulfilling, but also uh, it's like the chapter where I got to be my most authentic me, and
Mm.
that's, like, not for nothing, Like, it feels good
Yes.
to have that because I didn't have that before I started working on the film, and I didn't realize how much it would mean to me, um, and, I didn't realize how important that is, and, to be able to show up as yourself every day. Not saying it's not hard at times, but at least I have that, So
Mhm. Looking back and saying this is one of the chapters or this chapter is you showing up in the most authentic, truest version of you.
yeah.
How did the previous ones inform that and build it?
Yeah, well, I mean, the previous versions, I did not. I mean, I was showing up as the corporate girly, and
Mhm.
and my version of the corporate girly was I really felt oftentimes that I didn't belong for all kinds of reasons, and that I didn't have like the manual, I didn't have the here's how we talk about things, here's how you shouldn't talk about things, here's where it's going to break down, here's where, like, don't
Yes.
ever do this. I just had no idea, and I wrote about it a little bit in the book. That and I to me, the corporate spaces, in my opinion, are inauthentic places,
100%.
and it's like oil and water, and
Yes,
so
yes.
there's a reason why I longed to make this movie. I think part of me knew I needed to be in a place where I could thrive and be myself.
So as you were writing the book and because I read it in 2 days, by the way.
Ah, that's
Like,
awesome.
yeah,
That's so great.
because and usually I have a ton of notes and books,
Yeah.
but I was reading so fast
Uh-huh.
that I didn't have time to write notes, but I read it in 2 days.
Wow.
And I think what got me is that it's a story. It's very storytelling,
Mhm.
and it's vulnerable.
Yeah.
So someone who and you talk about it in the book who, for example, hid behind clothes for a long time, hid behind the camera for a long time. How was it for you to literally pour your story and make it out? Like, who knows who's gonna read it?
Yeah. Yeah. So let's promise me maybe we can talk a year from now and I can tell you how that went. Because I feel like I can't answer that question fully, like, because we're 30 days, I think 32 days out from the book launching, or 30 whatever, like, I think 33 days. And I feel like I'm in this, I love the idea of the liminal space, the in between. To
Yes.
me, that is a very fascinating concept. And we are sitting in that right now, and very, as it pertains to the book, because it's been written and it hasn't been released. A few hundred people have a copy. Only a small percentage have probably read it, and only a smaller percentage have actually finished it. And so I will be completely honest with you and tell you that wasn't necessarily planning on revealing so much. I did have like a reckoning. um, I knew two things. I knew the stories I wanted to tell had to be stories that mirrored the stories that were told to me. And
Mm.
so in the book, I talk about something called the line of secrets and dreams. And that's where that's where I was inspired to write the book, because of the secrets that were being shared with me that I could not make sense of, why people felt safe and comfortable sharing them with me. And then it happened so many times that I realized, okay, I think I'm supposed to do something here and for the community, but then I also didn't realize how that would heal me as well.
Yes.
I'm on the healing journey. I think I'll be doing that until I die. And
I don't know if that ever ends.
right, like saying I healed that, that like
No.
never resonates. I'm like, how? How do you know that that's been healed? Like it's, you know, for me it's layers, but um so the stories that I told in the book are mirrors of the stories that I heard.
Mm.
And I made a commitment that I would only tell stories that I had heard. I would only tell my version of the same stories I'd heard over and over and over and over again. And then last summer, I had a huge reckoning in my life. It was definitely a pivotal time. I had been really struggling financially and came out of, or was deep in the thick of, a massive financial breakdown that came as a result of the new administration. And I I experienced this incredible peak in my income and success, and by all accounts, I felt like all of the hard work had paid off. I was really proud of myself
Mhm.
and like ready to do the work, ready to continue just doing it, being it, showing up, getting better. And then when the new administration came, and the DEI budgets were slashed, I lost over $200,000 in business.
Oh.
And it happened slowly. So I think like if that would have happened quickly, of course, I think both would have been hard. But because it happened slowly and because of the way that I'm like the eternal optimist, not Pollyanna, but my brain is very good at finding silver linings and always looking for hope. Like I'm just good at that.
Yeah.
So as I lost, event after event, I just kept thinking, well, I've got these things and these people are still calling and this is still happening. But over a period of over a year, people that I had, contacts that I had been working with lost their jobs, their departments, budgets were slashed.
Mm.
And I mean, it was just the most horrific and scary time,
Yeah.
to be the maiden breadwinner of my home. And so I still had a deadline and I needed to like write through one of the hardest periods of my life.
Whoa.
Yeah, and so I remember being at the coffee shop and I was like, something that's interesting that happened to me and happens is like a phenomenon that is that I when I sit down to write, I it's like things want to come out, and I never really experienced that before. It's like stories want to be told.
Yes.
Past things want to be
Surfaced, yeah.
yeah, and I was like, what is going on?" And I had resisted, I had picked and chose which of the stories that were coming out, or the ideas or opinions or whatever I was going to share. And then there was just things just got to a point where I had reached like my own version of rock bottom, and I was like, I'm literally writing a book about saying the truth. I'm talking about taboos. One of the biggest taboos in our culture and our specific Latino culture is talking about money. And here I am not wanting to talk about it, or I'm not wanting to talk about my relationship with my mom. I'm not wanting to go into detail about, some of like these things that I was willing to talk about, but I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to pull
Yes.
the thread the entire way. I didn't want to undo the entire thing. But at one point, it was literally a day where I said, "F it. I'm doing it, and let the chips fall where they will." And it was, to me, I don't know if that'll have been the best decision, in the end. But now I'm
What came
so
out?
yeah, like I'm so damn proud of myself. So just that I was willing to be like there's not I left it all there. I left it all in that book. And the thing is, I that's where the most healing happened for me, because that's where I had to just say, despite all of this stuff that I'm so terribly embarrassed to be writing and sharing, like I'm still a badass. And that's where the line where I said we can be both powerful and unfinished came. I was like, screw this. I'm not going to take this freaking disaster that just happened and everything else I'm hard on myself with right now. And I'm not going to throw everything away just because life is hard today. I will
Mm,
not do that. I am not broken. I am on the mend. Things are going to be okay. And I just won't die here. This is not where the story ends. And that's where that line came from.
I love that. And I think it's gonna resonate with the listeners so much because right now we're living in those times still
Yes.
where it's hard, like
Mhm.
there's so much that I'm not even going to mention because we would just take up the whole episode.
Yeah.
But I think you just modeled to us that when things are hard, even sometimes what I heard is looking back at how far you've come allows you to say, "I can totally move forward."
Mhm.
Because I can't just, like, imagine like, as you're saying this, I imagined you sitting at the coffee shop, like, writing about the sexual assault, writing about your brother, like, writing about all the things, and letting those stories live and exist and honoring them and saying, "Look how strong I am because I survived those. I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to survive this."
Yes. Yes.
That's what I heard you say.
Oh, thank you. And actually the coffee shop that we had
That's where you
our
wrote?
I wrote so much of the book in that coffee shop. Yep, exactly. So now you know the place that this all went down.
Yeah. It's a great coffee shop. It is loud.
Yes, it's terribly loud, but wildly I can focus in the loudness, which is so bizarre. But I know there are other people out there like me too.
Totally. I mean, there's actually science
No kidding.
that's been studied that coffee shops, libraries not so much, but, like, places where people, like, chatter
Yeah.
and, like, dishes clunking and, like, things like that, that well, probably for I have ADHD.
Uh-huh.
What it does is, like, tunes out the extra noise.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, my brain is constantly with my ADHD, is constantly, like, finding other noises, so I always have to like, it's funny because my family are like, "You're so weird," 'cause I have, like, music on and I'm playing a video, you know?
Oh,
And they're like,
wow.
"How can you
Yes.
do both?" And I'm like, "Because I need both." And so a coffee shop kinda, like, takes from, like, the noise,
Yeah.
it quiets the noise, and then you can just, like, focus.
Yes. Yes. Well, there you go. Science explains that. I love it. I love it. I love a lot nice loud coffee shop to write.
And it's also the energy of other people.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. That is very true. And I also wrote in libraries as well. And it's funny, I wish I
Mm,
knew what I wrote in libraries versus coffee shops, but I wrote in both spaces, you know?
that would be interesting to, like, see if the writing was different,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
Like,
No,
if
for
maybe you
sure.
were more, like, faster, like, if the story moves faster when you were in coffee shop versus when you were I don't know. I'd be so curious to explore
Yes.
that. That's another experiment that we're not gonna go into. Okay, I have so many questions to ask you. How long did it take for you to write the book? Every author is different.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. I worked on it's like, what do you consider writing? Do you know what I mean? And
Uh-huh.
I, I started writing the proposal. The opportunity came to me in 2021 to write the book. And so I started the proposal in 2021.
When we talked in Denver, you were writing the book, but we couldn't say it, I don't think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh. All right. So yeah, so I think it was 2 years ago, this past February, that the book was purchased and by Simon and Schuster, and that's when I really got. I would say it was kind of like proposal phase, and then lots and lots of notes and stories and disparate stories in my phone and on the computer and in Google Docs, very unorganized, and then I began in earnest in February, March, and then just wrote all the way through to last August. And but February, March, not of last year, of the year before, so like
Okay.
2024. And then the manuscript was due last August, and yeah, and it was still not enough time. It's funny how that works, you know. Even recording the audiobook, which I did recently, was painful because I could see all of these things that I wish I had a chance to change.
Oh, I bet.
I was like, "Oh my god, how could I have missed this?" But, you know.
Yeah. As someone who's not written a book, but I write a lot, like, someone messaged me the other day, and they were like, "Have you thought about making your newsletters a book?"
Oh,
Because
wow.
I always, like, do a lot of storytelling,
Yeah.
and I thought about it, and I'm like, "No." Because, like, those newsletters from, like, 3 years ago, I'm a whole other person,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so hearing you, like, that trajectory when you started to when you finished and reading it,
Mhm.
like, you're a whole other person. So how do
Mhm.
you reckon that?
Yeah. Well, like, there's a lot of, thinking involved, and thinking, like, how will this, and because like, it's thinking of what you like, I would say, like, the evergreen nature of whatever the story is,
Mhm.
but then also, how do these things piece together? And that is something that I learned while making the film and then watching an inordinate amount of I watch an inordinate amount of television and movies, and I love them. I love storytelling. I just love it, and always have. And so, but making the movie really helped me understand beginning, middle, end, and like I wanted to make sure every single chapter had a beginning, middle, end, and that the
Mm.
whole book gets the beginning, middle, end, right? And then of course there's the editor who came in and she brilliantly um, did all of made
Scripted?
all. Yep, and she made incredible suggestions. Put this here, put that here, and it was weird because I was like, how did she know that it would work better? And of course, it's her job, right?
Right.
But I was so grateful for an editor who would move things around, and then also too, she had incredible questions for me to answer in the manuscript as well, and so those and like what was pulled out was truth, and I feel like truth is evergreen, and
Yes.
even if, like, let's say next year or even 10 years from now, I'm like, wow, evolved, or I changed my mind about how I feel about something that I might have written. It was my truth today,
Totally.
you know? And
Yep.
mostly, I love that you read it in 2 days. Like, the book was written and edited to be very quick, a quick read. And,
Mm.
like, a lot of the feedback has been I had to put it down.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm so happy to hear that you read it so quickly, because I've only heard that from a few people, but many people are like, "Yeah, I can't, like, like, it's too true." And they're, you know, and they just need a
Mhm.
minute, you know?
Totally, I could see that. And I do this work,
Yeah.
like, I do a lot of my own inner work first and foremost and my first client all the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, there were like, the college one, I was like, "Holy shit."
Yeah.
And like, I did cry. Like, I cried, I laughed, I did have to put it down and go outside for a second, like, but I still read it in 2 days.
Uh-huh.
But I think that I got to use tools within myself because it mirrors and it reflects also stories that I have within me,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I could totally see how it could be a little bit challenging for some bodies to receive it, but it's
Yeah.
medicine that's needed, I think.
Mm, thank you. Thank you.
It takes a minute to process, like, some, not all the chapters,
Right.
but there are some that I'm like, "Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay. Let me just go watch, like, some puppy videos real quick, and then we'll come back."
Uh-huh. And, like, in the first chapter, and I, like, can't wait to talk about this part, which is, uh, that in the first chapter, I tell people in, like, the reflection part, like, which was also my editor's idea to add these reflective parts to give
Mhm.
people some places to
Those are great.
process,
Yes.
which I was super like, in hindsight, I love them, and I gave them a lot of thought, speaking of thinking, and the in chapter 1, I was like, "Give your hand something to do while you do this," and I wonder,
Mm.
um, who'll take me up on that, because, like, I'm a big crafter. My girls are crafters, my girls are teenagers. We love to craft, and it's fun. It's like like, we gab, we yap,
Yes.
we create, and, like, I think for me, for my like, I've always been, like, a crafty, artsy girl, and found a lot of, like, joy and peace in it, oddly, and to
Yes.
know if you read the book, I've been through it. Like, I had a difficult time, but doing crafts has always, been like a source of joy for me, and so I hope that people will do something, and make something as they deal with whatever comes up for them as they read, you know?
Yeah, definitely. For sure. I think people definitely need to do the questions you ask.
Yeah.
I journaled them. I'm also I needle felt. You'll enjoy this.
Ah, I love that. What is that?
Wool?
Really?
Yeah. So it's like wool balls. Like, literally, it's wool, and then
Yeah.
with the needle, you needle felt them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've done that. We've done that. That's
Yeah.
awesome and
It's my
beautiful.
my jaguar, and then I've made a mushroom.
Ooh, so cute.
But to your point, I think, especially not just when reading your book, but just period, I think moving through your emotions in not necessarily ways that are expected, especially as Latinas, that you're like, "No llores," like, "Just
Yeah.
be strong," or whatever.
Yep.
Finding ways to release by making beautiful things is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a quick coffee break.
Sabrosura pa' ti que.
Denise, what are you drinking?
I am drinking, nothing hot. It's funny, I've had, like, 4 cups of coffee already today. No, this is, like, electrolytes. So
Oh, fun.
Mhm.
How was your coffee this morning?
It was awesome. So this is something I started last summer when I was in the saving money mode, and it's carried over because I love this new habit. So I was, like, always getting the oat milk latte at Starbucks. I know all the things about whatever, right?
Yeah.
And but I still loved it, and I still bought it every day. And then I ended up finding Café de Olla, like instant Café de Olla at the supermarket, and girl, I got that, and I got my own oat milk, and I started making my own oat milk café de ollas, and it's like my whole ritual now. I'm like, I mean, we just got back from Peru, and there is no coffee I've ever drank in my life like Peruvian coffee, and
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm happy to be back with my own routine with my café de olla con, um, con, oat milk. So
Leche de avena.
yes, yes.
Nice.
So yeah. What are you drinking? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking mushroom coffee.
Uh-huh.
So it has cordyceps, lion's mane, reishi. I need a mug that says I love mushrooms, actually. That's why I
Uh-huh.
make mushrooms.
I love it.
um, so it has like a combination, like maybe it has some ashwagandha, and it has local honey. So my mom is a beekeeper.
No way. Oh, I love
Yeah.
that.
So I put honey from from the yard, which,
Oh,
by the way, that is like my biggest remedy in the world. Like I used to be one that would get allergies, but since I consume local honey from the local honey from the yard
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
every day, 0
No
allergies.
kidding.
But it has to be consistent.
Interesting.
Like I do it year round and I never get bothered. And I used to be
Wow.
one that was like with the mocos and like the ice and all the things. No more.
Uh-huh. Wow, wow, wow. I love that, and I love that it's your mom's and that it's like, it connects you to her. That's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. And like bees are pretty like I've done the work too. It's like a lot of work.
Uh-huh.
And then like the bees get stuck in your hair and it's really like I have curly hair, so it's like even worse. It's like a lot.
Ugh,
Which you have curly hair. I saw a picture of you when you were young. We can talk
yes.
about it.
I
I
know,
saw
like,
the picture and I
someone's
was
gonna
like,
bring this
"Wait
up.
a minute. I've been played."
That is so awesome. I love that you just brought that up. I was literally thinking someone is gonna bring this up.
I sure did.
But you saw how curly it was, right? You saw how, like, I
Was?
mean, yeah, and the thing is, but, like, then, I'm telling you, in the '80s, we didn't have anything. Like, I had no
Yes.
tools. I had no, there were no techniques. There was no YouTube. There was nobody that I knew that had hair like mine.
Right.
And it wasn't until I moved to Miami and it wasn't like the Miami girls were telling me, but my cousin who has wavy hair, she told me about this is the funniest thing. And I haven't talked about this in I don't know, even though how long, but this method called the doobie doo. Have you ever, does that sound familiar to you at all?
No.
Okay, it must be like a Puerto Rican thing. And what she did was she took her and my hair and we blew it straight, like as straight as we possibly could, right? Like whatever. And then like massively curly hair that I had. And then she had this freaking bag of bobby pins. And then what she did was she did this, and I'm literally doing the demo. And you go like this with your hair and put a bobby pin here,
Okay.
and then put a bobby pin here and here and then take this until the whole thing is like
Is
all the way
wrapped?
around, all the way around. Yes, you wrap it once, and so it's like it ends up being like this, but like
Okay.
that, but like really impeccable, like impeccable straightness. And then you take it off about 30 minutes later and do it on the other side and leave it for like 30 minutes. And the more you leave it in, the straighter it got. So that was my method. That was the very first way that I experienced my hair being straight. And I'm going to tell you this, from being a curly girl with the curls that I had, like tight, tight curls,
Tight.
impossible curls, right? It was so nice to, like, be able just to go like this because I never knew this. I never knew that, you know? And so
Wow.
yeah, so now every once in a while, I go with my curly hair, and I kinda wish I still had those tight curls, and I wonder one day, but I'd have to grow my hair so long to, like, really take advantage of that curl pattern, you know? Because I just
Really?
oh, yeah, because I just feel like it would go like this, and then I
Yes.
don't know that I'm not as cute. I don't have the same face as I did when I was 17 in that picture, you know
You
what I mean? Like,
are. 'Cause you had literally, like, the '80s hair.
full on, full on.
Yeah. I was like, "No way. What? Been played."
I love that so much.
So, it's not as curly now.
It's not as curly now because because I straighten it, but also, like, to be totally transparent, who the hell knows how curly it is because I will straighten it like this and leave it, and because it's fundamentally so curly is on the dry side. So I can go a few days
Yes.
with my hair like this. A. B, I have ventured to put some product in just to test things out because I have a daughter that has super curly hair.
Yeah, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
I've seen your daughters and I'm like, "Oh, that's where it comes from."
Yeah, it comes from me. So like it's there. It's like the Spanish language. It's there. It just needs to be found and nurtured.
Nice, nice, nice. I had a curly madrina, like a hair like godmother
Yeah, yeah.
that she I was in dance. I used to perform
Oh,
salsa
wow.
for a long
Okay.
time.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
she was in my dance team, and I was the like, I didn't I'm Mexican, like, Mexican people, they're, like, so whitewashed, like,
Uh-huh.
there's no, like every commercial, like, the telenovelas that you see, everyone's, like, white with, like, long hair, right?
Oh,
And so,
uh-huh.
like, my hair was never I never had anyone to teach me how to do anything with it.
Yeah.
And so I was in dance class, and I had my chongo up,
Uh-huh.
like and then I took it out after dance, and, you're sweaty and, like, my hair started, like, drying, and she had, like, ricitos de oro, like, curls. She had,
Uh,
like, ¿cómo se dice in English?
the
The curl net.
tendrils. The
Yeah, she
tendrils.
had, like, the super and they were always super cute. Like, even rehearsing, I'm like, "Bro, like, how?" And she's like, "You just take care of your hair." And so, because even in rehearsals, it was, like, pretty. And
Mm.
so, I take my chongo off, and my hair starts drying, and starts, like, doing the thing, and she looks at me, and she's like, "I can do something with that." And I'm like, "There's no way." And she's like, "I promise." And I'm like, "I've lived 30 years with this thing. There's nothing. It's a nest, like, the only way is to, like, straighten it."
Yeah, yeah.
And so I went over to her house, and she gave me, like, the whole protocol, and she taught me how to do the thing, and then I've never looked back.
No
I've straightened my
kidding.
hair, like, twice maybe.
No way. Well, I mean, I was gonna say it's beautiful on you. And so
Thank you,
but
thank you.
you have a whole thing that you do.
Now I do, but I didn't grow up with it because
Right.
so funny, in college, my black friends, they tried, bless their heart, but it's a very different hair texture.
Mhm,
And so
mhm.
I remember one of my best friends, she was like, "Girl, just use this thing." And it was like this like jar of like product that she would use for her like super tight curls.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "What do I do?" And she's like, just pass it through your whole hair and then just like scrunch it, let it dry." That was like I looked like I had lard in my
Oh,
hair. Like
no.
because the product was just not for my hair,
Yeah,
for my
yeah, yeah.
texture.
Right, right. Because you have to yeah, it has to be for the right curl pattern and the right texture. It's a little
Correct.
complicated.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's a thing. It's a thing. And even what you explained of, like, doing the thing, I remember my friends when they would get relaxers, like my black friends, they
yeah.
would do that, but I never saw it. I never saw Latinas do it.
Well, now you know. It was my
I know.
secret weapon. My cousin Lourdes is the one who turned me on to it, and it works so great. And the funny when you said the chongo, I actually used the word moño in the book, and
Uh-huh.
I think it's the same thing. And for me, that was like the secret weapon. For me, all I'd have to do is put product. This is back in the day. I would all put whatever, mostly gel, because things were not as diverse. Products were not as diverse back then in the 90s, okay? And so like in the 90s I would put gel and then put a moño, go to bed, wake up and whoosh, all the curls would be there, you know? Um,
Nice.
but they would also be crunchy, you know? And so you have to
Yes.
like get the crunch out. But anyway, it's changed and I'd like to go, I'm in a mode right now where I'm growing it longer and I'd like to try it, but I know I need all the right products and I need someone to show me the whole thing.
You need a curly madrina.
I do. I need her. I need her number.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy to give you her number, but truly just find a woman with, like, beautiful like, textured hair. I was corrected once that it's textured hair. It's not
Yes,
curly
it
hair.
is. Actually, I know, I love that. I love the whole textured
Mhm.
hair movement, and I know it's the gal at L'Oreal that started this whole textured hair thing,
Nice.
and, yes, and they have products for us
Yes.
in a range for all the different textures because there's a whole thing. This is a total sidebar, but this is, I think, very interesting because being on the road with my film early on, I would want to look polished, right? And I would want and I could never, it's very like I have a good system now because I figured out how to do pin curls, honestly. But that's a whole nother thing. But like I would want to get my hair blown out before my speaking engagements and stuff like that. And I literally remember it took 2 hours. I was like in Michigan,
Wow.
Minnesota, something like that. And it took the girl like 2 hours because I had no clue how to blow out a thick Puerto Rican head of hair
Yeah.
like mine.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I've never worked with hair like
I'm
this
doing this
before."
side and this curly end. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like the range, and this includes so many people that have textured hair. And so so the interesting point is that they don't teach hairdressers how to deal with textured hair. I don't know if it's like one day or any days, honestly, but she's working to get that changed in every single state to make sure that you can't get a license, a cosmetology license, unless you have this part of your education. This box has to be checked, which I think is a great, like, that's activism that no one hears about, that no one will know about. Most people won't know about that, but it's, to me, and it fell under the DEI umbrella. And it's why it's such a shame
Mm.
that that whole thing was taken away. Of course, my business really suffered, and that's one thing that I'm personally affected. But then this other thing, and the thing is, her thing is called Texture of Change, and it's still alive and well because it's with the company that cares about it, and they don't have to worry about the DEI mandates.
Mm.
They're a very successful company. But those are the things that go down with the baby water. Do you know what I mean? Or the baby with the bathwater, or whatever it is. That's what gets lost when programs and budgets get cut.
Yes.
We suffer at the end of the day again, right?
Again.
So anyway, total left turn, but interesting.
Very much. I mean, we're still in the coffee break, we'll get back in a second. Um, what happens when you're having fun. Um, the last plug that I'll do, I probably shouldn't because I'm not sponsored. Maybe she will sponsor me. Is I tried Shakira's products.
Okay.
I was at Ulta with my mom because she was like, "Take me," like she sprained her ankle. She was like, "Take me to Ulta," and I was like, "I don't have anything to buy, but
Uh-huh.
let me just look."
There's always something to buy there.
There's always, and so
Uh-huh.
I'm always looking at hair products because you never know. And so there on the end cap, there's Isima and it's like Shakira's face. And I was like, wait, she has a product line? And then this guy comes over with like half a head of hair and he's like, those products are the best. And I'm like, what do you have to tell me about these products? Like, you don't barely have any hair, sir. And so,
Uh-huh.
and he's like, well, I didn't say that, but I looked at him. I think my face comes with subtitles most of the time. And so he probably said it, and I looked at him like, "How do you know? You have no hair." And he was like, "Well, I'm the manager of the store," and so managers get invited to Miami to the launch of products, and she was
Right.
there, and she talked about how she used the product before she gave it a green light.
Mm.
And so he was like, they had us try it, and, like, everything is like, blah, 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 and so I was like, "Alright." So I bought it, and it's been the product that actually has kept my hair the most contained.
No kidding. All
And I've
right.
tried all of them.
Well, I might have to go try it too. That's very good to
Not
know.
sponsored. Shakira, sponsor me if you
Not sponsored yet.
yet. Indeed, indeed. Alright, let's get back to the coffee break because 'cause we're running out of time. Oh my gosh. You know what's frustrating? Losing your wallet. And sometimes what's even more painful? Realizing your almost full punch card from your favorite cafecito spot is now gone. But at least, even when your cafecito points have vanished, at BMO, if you lose your debit card, they'll print you a new one instantly at a local branch. Plus, you can use your phone to freeze your debit card to prevent any unauthorized transactions. Learn more at bmo.com. Conditions apply. Accounts provided in the United States by BMO Bank and a member FDIC. Do you ever feel like money's supposed to make you feel free, but instead it just makes you feel like a fraud? Like, you should already know this stuff. Investing, retirement, debt. But you're still Googling, what's a Roth IRA like it's a secret society? Let me unmute that real quick. Savvy Ladies is a nonprofit that gets it, and they're not here to shame you. They're here to support you. They've got a completely free financial helpline where real humans, real experts give you answers without judgment. Whether you're navigating money wounds, dreaming of building wealth, or just trying to make sense of your paycheck, this is your safe space. No sales pitch, no confusing jargon, just real talk, real help for free. Because financial confidence isn't just about numbers. It's about knowing you're not alone anymore. Head over to savvyladies.org to learn more. That is SAVVYLADIES.org. When was the last time someone said pajamas required and actually meant it? 10 years ago, I started Café con Pam using a microphone from a retired rapper, way too many feelings, and zero proof any of this could work. Well, here we are. It did work. So on October 10th in San Diego, we are throwing it a slumber party, a real one. And here's the part that I'm so excited about. I'm teaching the workshop I needed 10 years ago. The one that teaches your nervous system it's safe to build, to grow, to take up space without bracing for it all to be taken away. Then we record a live episode with an incredible guest. Your questions in the room out loud. In your pajamas, fed by an actual chef. Warm, citrus marinated olives, gluten free corn dogs, the whole artisanal spread. Oh, so excited. It's called Diezvelada 10 years, one night. Grab your tickets, get on the list before it's gone. Come as tired as you want because we're staying up anyway. I'm just kidding. It's just from 6 to 10 because I'm a señora. You know, we go to bed at 10. Head over to cafeconpam.com/10. cafeconpam.com/DIEZ. Yes. I mean, I have so many questions about the book, but I think one that will inevitably bring things up is the mom episode. I mean, the mom chapter.
Yeah.
And you share a lot about your family. Did you have conversations with them?
No.
Okay. So you were just like, we're just gonna tell my truth, my story. You deal with it.
Yep. And I mean, I was very delicate about, and there's a saying, writing is rewriting. And I rewrote a lot of these things, were revised multiple times. And I really stand very uh, confidently that this is my version of the events, and also recognizing that there could be another person could have a different version, and that it's not really accusatory. It is, however, my experience.
I love that for sure. And so, how, as a Latina, how do you and like the cultural expectation of like familia first and familismo and all the things? How did you, if you had it, shed the if that existed, the feeling or emotion of like I need to take care of them by like preserving the story in a way?
Yeah. Um, that's part of the problem.
Mm.
Is not how I saw it as I was writing it. As I was writing it, I was struggling with that idea that we hold back certain things
So
to
many things.
protect, as if really holding them back does protect, you know? And it's like, and like out of love and consideration maybe, but as I was writing, I had to go from I need to just get this out, right? And in the film, one of the many things I learned while making the film was just get everything on camera.
Mm, and then you edit. Yes.
Yeah, and it's like, instead of regretting not having gotten it at all. And so I took that same approach, but it was much harder, because just even writing these things almost feels like you're committing a betrayal, you know?
Yes.
And
Yes.
like I like it was painful to do that, and then and I noted that as like a place to heal, right? Like, what
Mm,
is really wrong with writing this story? What is really wrong with this? And is it wrong by the standards of my 5 or 9-year-old self? I'm talking about the first story in the whole book, or is it wrong by my adult 55-year-old self? And like as a 55-year-old, it's not wrong. There's nothing wrong. And if anything, it's vital. If I weren't writing a book, but I was trying to work through these issues and I was to use writing, telling the story would be critical,
yes.
and telling it as I remember it and working on it until I felt proud of the actual work of it, the art of it, right? Um,
Mm.
to me, that would be critical. And then I went back and I polished and fashioned it in a way so that it wouldn't, so I could kind of contain it, but not like um I wasn't going to not share it,
Mm.
because here's the thing. I only told the stories that mirrored the stories that were told to me. And I had this incredibly unique position where I had this body of work, this thing I did, and it made people feel so comfortable so as to share these secrets with me over years and years and years, right? And and I knew the pain, and I know the pain, and the pain can, I know, for just from personal experience, that the idea of knowing you're not alone, right? Just that simple idea can do so much work in our healing. And there's always a little bit more to go. And just knowing, you know what? I'm not the only one suffering here.
Yes.
I share the suffering with others. And there's something about that like releases so much burden. And so for that, it was important for me to keep those stories. And so I confidently, like I said, stand by the ones that I chose to tell.
I love that. And I think something important to highlight, which you mentioned, is that the way that you share the stories is the way that you experience them.
Yes.
And it's like when you put siblings next to each other and you say, "How was that Christmas in 1997?" And each of them have 2 different stories because they were looking at it like if we look eagle's eye, they were standing in different places. They had different perspectives. They had, maybe one went to the bathroom and one, like, put the finger on the stove and got burnt, like
Yeah.
so your individual perception of what happened is what we get to read.
Mhm.
And people may whoever, all the names that were mentioned may be like, "But that's not how it went, but that's how you lived it."
Yeah, and what's great is many of the names have been changed.
Yes.
So, like, that was a whole thing, but I did write it with their names up to the very end, so because like, changing the names, and I have a little cheat sheet for myself for all the names that I changed,
Like, who's
and
who?
yeah, like this person I called that, and this person I called that, and I did that at the very, very end. But the names have been changed, so even the people that I've written about are gonna. My guess is they might wonder, like, if that's them or that, or if there's a certain family member, they'll wonder. But like, it's not to me. The story I told was for the purpose of healing and pointing out very specific things. So every chapter always opens with a very emotional story, and it gets so I do this to measure emotion, but really it gets and I was going to go like this, but it does sort of structurally go like this, but when we get to the end, we're at the most specific and most universal.
Yes.
And so that's like how every chapter is written. And so to me, the stories were more like devices. And so it's interesting to use a story as a device, but then also have it be so deeply personal and so I'll have to deal with whomever gets offended by it, later. But I did a lot of work to make sure that it was the most accurate telling based on my version of events. Yes.
Which is powerful.
Yeah.
Have the people that are in the book read it?
No.
Okay.
No. That was a choice too. And also, it's hard to, this is also something that I learned. And, my creative partner is an Academy Award winning producer and taught me a lot about storytelling while in the many, many years that we worked together. And one of them is, you can't really create something like by committee, So like,
It's your story.
yep, it had to stay contained. And so I don't know what's coming. I'm sure someone's gonna, and I don't say this lightly. I hope that everyone who's talking to me today still wants to talk to me tomorrow.
Mm.
And and also I know that sometimes people get upset. And I guess the other thing that crosses the mind is like people that are going to get upset on behalf of other people. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like, you should
Mhm.
never have done that. You should never have said that. Those are the things, like, that wake me up in the middle of the night, you know?
And how do you overcome that?
It's interesting, just really recognizing, that, like, I couldn't have I'm just proud of what I did. I'm proud of what I did. There's a lot of stories that
You
were,
ground yourself in that.
yeah, like, I actually cut a lot. This book was way longer, and there were a lot more stories that are not in the book, and, could be in the category of really, in the category of this, this other area, right, of, sensitivity, right, and,
Yeah.
I'm proud of what I did, and I'm so happy that it's, like, what I get to leave behind, and that my girls have
Yes.
not read it yet. They've read some, they've let me read,
Oh.
yeah, they've let me read a few, while I was writing some of it, I was reading it to them, but they haven't read the whole thing yet, and when they're ready to read it, like, I know that they're gonna be proud too, and I hope that they feel, like, wow, that they realize, the guts that it took to do it, and that they source that level of confidence in themselves
Mm.
to do something boss, like, in their own life, you know?
Yes. Oh, so good. I love the physics lesson that you give us at the end.
Thank you.
Thermal equilibrium. This one I did highlight. Which do you wanna tell us we are out of time. This is so
No, no,
sad.
no. Oh, I'd love to tell you. I'd love to tell you.
Okay, so tell me about thermal equilibrium. It's, like, so good.
Thank you so much. Thank you for saying that, because it's the part that I would say, the book is a journey, the whole roller coaster, ups, downs, and all arounds. And I'm so happy that you found my sense of humor funny. I love that. That tells me a lot. And that, like, at the end, I didn't want it to be like, "End scene," like, "This is all these terrible things, and I gave you some tools, and good luck now," I didn't
Right.
I didn't wanna do that. I wanted to end on a high note, and also on, like, the biggest tool that I learned. And so while I was writing the book,
It
it
came
was
from your
actually,
daughter.
I know, I mean, how cool is that, right? Like,
So
because I
cool.
am, like, I and to know me is to know I'm obsessed with my girls, and I just adore them. And you read the book, and so you know the whole, that AM radio show that I listen to and all that stuff. And, like, being their mom is like, I feel very lucky. And they also happen to be amazing young women, and, like, just so proud to be their mom. And so one of the routines or traditions, that we have in my house is when they come home literally from school or work, I will listen to whatever they wanna tell me. Like, literally, bring it. I'm just like, "Here, I'm here for it. Whatever you wanna say, I'm here for it." And so this day, my it was the winter, and my daughter came home, and she was sitting at the counter drinking whatever, and I was either filling the dishwasher or emptying it, story of my life. And she was telling me what happened in her AP Physics class. And, she was like, "Think about it like this, Ma. Like, we're in Breckenridge, we're in a cabin in the woods. Like, that's Breckenridge is like which I'm sure you know, it's like this beautiful mountain town, and it gets snowy and cold. And let's say we're all in the house, and then Daddy knocks on the door and comes in, and it's winter and cold out. And the first thing we say is, 'Don't let the cold in.'"
Yes.
And I was like, "Okay, yeah. So tell me how this works, because that doesn't sound off or weird to me." And she said, "Actually, that's not how it works. Cold doesn't move. The
Mm.
warmth in the home is what moves out." And in this example, the warmth tries to warm up the cold air outside. And so the whole purpose of that metaphor is to understand warmth will leave spaces to try to equalize the temperature anywhere, even if it's the outside, the entire outside, right? And so when she was telling me this, I was like, holy mackerel, like I just kept needing her to explain it again and again and again because I felt like it was such a great metaphor for belonging and for this book and for a framework for healing. And that's
Yes.
and so if we think about our lives as like a house, and in our house there are some rooms that are warm and some rooms that are cold, and the rooms that are cold are the rooms where we have stories like the ones that I shared in the book, and where we might have locked away and thrown away the key, and believed this thing that we're broken because these terrible things have happened, right? Like a sexual assault or domestic violence or messing up with money or losing a job or whatever. There's 10 taboos, but really there's probably, honestly, there's about 20 to
A
30
lot.
different taboos, yeah, in the book that I talk about. And so we decide something about ourselves. Oftentimes it's this thing about feeling broken, being fundamentally broken. So we shut the door, we throw away the key, and everything inside stays frozen in time. And then we only interact in the warm spaces where communication is easy and where things are smooth, right? That makes sense as a way to live a life. It really does.
Yeah.
Until we want to do something. We want to start a business. We want to get a promotion. We want to get married or be in a relationship or get out of a relationship or move across the
Mhm.
country or do something out of our comfort zone, right? That we exist in right now. And all of a sudden we start making moves to do that, and we start bumping into those cold spaces and not understanding why is it that when I think about starting this business or making this movie or whatever it is that your heart desires that you have not yet done, why is it that I keep thinking about that thing that I witnessed when I was 9? Why can't I stop thinking? Why are some conversations so hard for me here but so easy for me here? And
Mhm.
my assertion is that it's because these cold spaces, right, that are just frozen, they are like frozen in time and stuck and completely available, ready and waiting to be warmed up. So they're pure possibility. However, if we are not willing to open the door and let that warmth flow in,
Mm.
which it will, even if you open it a crack, the warmth will fly right in and it'll try to thaw out the space. But there's a willingness challenge there for all of us. And that is, if I tell this story about what happened when I was 9, like, I don't know, like, who I am if you know what I witnessed, right?
Yes.
Like, or if I tell what happened in college, I don't know what you'll think of me and what you'll make up about me, or right? And so, like, the idea is that we take these cold spaces, and the cold spaces should have like signs on them, like all the different taboos, right? Um,
Mhm.
and we decide, okay, I'm gonna warm up this cold space. Then those become the places that we become free. And
Yes.
so that is really the whole point of the book, is to recognize that what's frozen can be thawed, and it's not going to be freezer burn, and it's still going to taste great. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's always hope and possibility available. And that sometimes warming up some of these spaces means you should seek healing, a
Mhm.
therapist, a healer, start a new modality of healing. Tell one person, tell whatever, but like, but begin your journey of warming up those cold spaces, because we all deserve that. We all deserve to feel free and to feel the sense of agency that we were born with, and that's our God-given right to feel our own power. And that is the whole purpose of the book, is to give that gift of inspiring someone to believe, even for a second, that they could
Mm.
feel more powerful in their life when they believed before they read it that they were broken.
Mm. Done. Mic drop. Nothing else to say. Thank you so much
Oh, you're
for
welcome.
your work, for being a great model, for being vulnerable and open and honest and sharing your truth, because it is I mean, it's a liberating guide for Latinas, and I do think that as you share this, especially with um with the concept with thermal equilibrium, through you like through your stories, you're also warming up ours.
Oh, thanks for saying that.
Yeah.
Thank you. That makes me so happy to hear. I appreciate that.
It opens the door a little, like, it cracks the door to be like, "See?
Yeah.
She didn't die."
Exactly. Exactly.
You know? Free yourself from
Yep.
carrying all those icicles or ice cubes.
Yeah. Yes. We don't need them.
We don't need them, indeed.
Yeah.
Denise, thank you so much for coming to Cafe Con Pam.
Oh, you're so welcome. Can I tell people when the book is coming out? And
Please share all the places and spaces where we can find you, where we can buy the book, all the things.
awesome. So it's coming out August 18th. And any pre order that happens between now and the week of, I think, August 23rd, which is the end of that week, will count towards getting on the New York Times bestseller list, USA Today bestseller list. And that is absolutely what I want. And because because that means that the book will be in front of a lot more people when it gets
Mm,
recognized on those lists. And it is my commitment that every Latina, my editor said at one point during our incredible time together, she said, this book will be on the shelf of every Latina, even if she's not a reader, because she'll need this, in her life, like as a
yes.
guide for her life. And that's my greatest hope, is that it'll end up on everyone's shelf. So
Yes.
please pre-order it.
Definitely pre-order it. Yes, pre-orders help authors a lot
Yes.
because um it's also a way for us to let the publishers know that more books written from us are needed.
It's so true. Like, the more Latinas that make these lists, the more they respect us as writers, and that is very true. And so for that reason as well, to prop up not just me, but any Latina author that you see, like, I pre-order books that I probably will never read
Same.
for this.
Yes.
Yeah, just like, this is like it costs $29 to buy a hardcover book ish, right?
Mhm.
And that's going towards, it's like you're voting for Latina
Yes.
authors, you know?
Yes.
So to
For
warm
sure.
up that cold space of
Yes.
Latinos don't, that they say Latinos don't read, and they also say Latinos don't buy books. That's not okay.
Agreed.
And so, because that's not true.
Yep.
So,
Totally. So pre-order, what I invite people to do that I do is I typically order 4 books.
oh
I
my
keep
gosh.
1, I gift 1, and I drop 2 at
Oh,
the like, street libraries. You
oh
know,
my
like those,
gosh.
like,
Yes,
libraries that
yes.
you
Yeah, yeah, we have them all over our neighborhood and
Yes.
Watch Park. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love those little free libraries.
Yeah. My strategy for pre-orders because I interview a lot of other and I have a lot of Latina because my thing, do as you want done unto you. When I write a book, I want a lot of people to pre-order. And so 4 books, which is less than $100 many times,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
it is.
Like,
Yep.
you spend $100 going to dinner now.
Mhm. Easily, easily.
So, $100, 4 books, 1 for you, 1 to gift, and sometimes I'm like, "I don't know who I need to gift this to," so I just keep it on the shelf, and
Uh-huh.
then when it's, like, someone's birthday or what it's great to give away a book,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then 2 for the, little libraries.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I so appreciate this, and what a wonderful conversation.
Yeah, we did a lot of side quests, but I think a pleasure, Denise, como siempre.
Likewise.
Okay, that was my conversation with Denise, and one of my favorite things that I know I'm spoiling it, but it's the lesson from Denise's daughter that she describes in the book as they were in the kitchen, and she tells us actually how this physics lesson became, in many ways, the foundation of the book. Cold doesn't move, heat, warmth, fire is what moves. So when we say, don't let the cold in, we actually have it backwards, as Denise shared with us. It's the warmth that leaves the room, reaching out for whatever's frozen, looking to thaw it. Qué cool, no? And the thing is, as Denise shared with us, we all have frozen rooms. The money story, the chapter about the familia, the thing we locked away and, said we didn't want to ever talk about. Porque maybe it's a story where we decided it made us broken. And maybe that story is the one that needs to be thought out. Because many times we choose to live in the warm rooms where everything is easy until we reach for something else and we start bumping into the cold. Sometimes that cold arrives. Sometimes you face the cold. You are made to face it. And what I learned and what I got from Denise's conversation, from this conversation today, is nothing in the rooms is permanent because everything that is frozen can be thawed again. No salad freezer burned and it still can be good. The other thing is that you don't have to be finished to begin. You can be both powerful and unfinished. We all are. And just like Denise models to us, she didn't wait to be healed to tell the truth. She told it while she was still in it. And through her words, it allows us to also heal our own. And as I shared, as I read her book, I cried, I laughed, I cried again. I had to go outside and process. And I think that's the power of telling the truth. Her book, What Will They Say?, comes out August 18th. So remember, this is a super important time for authors. Pre-order today. Don't be like, I'll make a mental note and do it. Do it because it helps put a Latina author on the New York Times bestseller list. It helps publishers understand that we have buying power. We do. We know we have over $1 trillion in Latinos, Latinas, brown people have over $1 trillion in buying power. Let's uplift each other. Let's put us in bestseller lists. Porque levantar a una nos levanta todas. My recommendation is I always get 2 books. Buy one and gift one. Buy 3 if you can. Buy one, gift one, and go leave one in a little free library in your neighborhood. Because our stories deserve to be out there in the world, and more people need to read them. So, if this conversation maybe opened the door and the warmth came out and it's looking to thaw some of the places and spaces that may be a little cold, maybe you're ready to understand the voice that taught you to keep it locked in the first place. So I invite you to take the Calladita Culture quiz. No te vas a tardar más de 2-3 minutes. It's free. It gives a name to the wound you've been carrying without knowing. Head over to cafeconpam.com/quiz. Thank you so much for being here. Tag me, send me DMs, tell me your reactions. It's always a joy to hear from you. Y bueno, como siempre, stay shining. Café con Pam is created con mucho amor by our small but mighty team. Content production by Nancy Jaimes. Podcast management by Maru Linardi. Social media and marketing by Brenda Figueroa. And me, your host, Pam Covarrubias. To keep the cafecito brewing and the healing flowing, join the Supporters Club for only $5 a month and access early episodes, behind-the-scenes vibes, and exclusive minisodes you won't hear anywhere else. Screenshot this episode and tag me and share what resonated. I love seeing your takeaways. Follow on your favorite podcast platform and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's keep the conversation going with us on social media at Café con Pam Podcast because your voice always matters there. We love being on Instagram and Facebook. Gracias for listening to Café con Pam, a Spread Ideas Move People production. For more episodes, guest info, or resources, visit cafeconpam.com. And if you're healing from Calladita culture and don't know where to start, you can take the quiz. cafeconpam.com/quiz for Tia Wisdom and cariño just for you.
Sabrosura pa' ti que